Maximum Muscle Report alongside co-host Ryan Hinton. Ryan, what's happening, man?
Not much, man. I'm ready to get this thing started, man. 2019, all the hype, social media hype.
What are you looking? What are you expecting to happen for this year? Especially, we had a show this last weekend,
Yeah.
And Ray won, but the season really kicks off with the Arnold.
Right.
It's rolling. What are you looking for? What are you expecting for the 2019 season as a whole? And then what do you think you're going to see happen here at the Arnold?
Shoot, man. As a whole, I think there's going to be a couple of guys. I think there's a couple open spots in the top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
We're going to see some new names up there. Some guys that haven't really gotten a chance to hit that big stage yet. They've had some good showings at some smaller shows. And I think we'll see some new guys winning some shows this year, or new names, like I was saying. And man, at the Arnold, besides me having a big tub of popcorn, man.
Butter and salt, or just butter?
Oh, definitely butter and salt, man.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
Loads of butter.
Oh, without a doubt, man. Just keep pumping it. Keep pumping it.
Shake it up, pump a little more. See, I got to put that cheese stuff on there too, man. Give it a little extra flavor.
Yes, indeed, man.
Yeah, so, and then specifically for the art, well, it sounds like you're, like in any sport, young guys are up and coming, guys that are paying their dues, putting in the time, who's ready to move up to the next level. And that, of course, I'm not surprised that comes out of your mouth, because that's kind of your forte right now. The last couple of years, you've been producing men's physique pros left and right. Like, I don't know if anyone's pumped out more men's physique pros in the last 3 or 4 years than you. So it's a time for some of those guys to start moving up, and right, they were tier 4 guys their first year or two. It's time for them to graduate, if we want to say.
Yeah. This guy, this Canadian guy, I got my eye on him.
Yeah.
Think he's gonna have a good year. He's got a lot of potential, a little bit of room for growth, but great shape, great symmetry.
Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna see a lot of newcomers.
I think this is gonna be the most exciting year we've seen in the men's physique division in a long time. With the fact that you had a changing of the guard at the top, you had a few guys that were mega stars 3-4 years ago that have come back.
Right.
And it looks to me like there's a couple of camps that are set up. You're
100%.
Either this crew with this crew or with this crew.
Yep.
And they're just ready to do battle.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be just a really exciting year all around. And it starts right away at the Arnold here.
Yeah. Some things are gonna be tossed up, because you got the old versus the new, especially these new guys that were watching these old guys, and they're going head to head. So you got this, these old school physique guys, and then you got these younger guys. They got pretty thick muscle coming. How much it's grown from 3-4 years ago. Brandon Hendrickson is now the standard.
Right.
3 years ago, they would have told him to get in 212.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They did at New York. They said this guy could have gone into the 212.
I remember that. Yeah, that was, yep. Yeah. That was like, he was kind of one of the first ones that were like, whoa, these guys, these men's physique guys got some size. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they're going to award at which shows, especially the Arnold, supposed to set the tone for the year. But, you know how that goes as the year progresses. We'll see.
So we know Brandon's not doing the Arnold.
Right.
I think this is very interesting. So let's get right into it. Let's just get his name out there right away. Sadik is back.
Right.
Sadik won the very first men's physique Arnold. He's back. You've got the defending champ in Andre Ferguson. He's back. I wasn't anticipating him doing this show until, whatever, 8, 10, 12 weeks ago, whatever it was, when all of a sudden we heard he was doing it. And Raymond, wasn't expecting him to come back this early in the season, being that he was already qualified. So Raymond is interesting because he placed second at the Arnold, second at the Olympia. So he's going to be in this show. So, I mean, that's a lot of champions.
Yeah.
Ready to battle. And we're not even talking about King George. We're not talking about the guys that are hungry, ready to move up, like Logan Franklin, Chase Savoy, Michael Bevins.
Right.
Ooh, what
yeah.
What is he shaking out here next weekend? I don't even know where to start with this lineup.
Yeah, you basically rattled off the top 10. You can't count out Ray and Andre without a doubt in the top 3, without a doubt. I feel like what's gonna be crazy is to see. So I feel like Sadik left men's physique way too early, but the size he's put on, now I feel like he kind of fits the mold a lot better. But these guys have had their foot on the gas since he left as well. So, to my understanding, I believe the last time he was in the Olympia was the last time he and Andre competed together. And I believe Andre was maybe around 11, probably. That doesn't even sound right.
Yeah, that doesn't sound right at all.
And Sadik was
how much things have changed.
Right. So now seeing them two next to each other, I'm not seeing Sadik in the top 3, honestly. Not. But
so what do you got going on for the top 5? What are you seeing in the top 5?
Ooh, man. Off the top of my head, I need to make a comeback. No, for sure, I'm gonna say Andre, Ray. Who else we got on that list there? Who else you name? I'm trying to, off the top of my head, I can't even remember.
You got George, you got Kamani, you got Chase, you got Logan, you got Bevins, you got Sadik, and you got 25 other guys. Yeah. No disrespect to them.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Name everybody.
I'll put Kamani 3.
Who do you got 1?
That's a toss-up. Oh, man. I'm going to give it – I'm going to say Ray's going to come out with the win.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Raymond's going to come out with the win.
Safe. That's pretty safe. You ain't going out on a limb.
Yeah.
The guy was second at the Arnold last year. The guy was second at the Olympia. He just did a tune-up and smoked everybody at the show this past week. All right, well, he was pushed by the guy who was second, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Just come off of another win. I mean, it's the safest bet you can go.
Right.
Money, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I'll give Sadik a 5th. I think Sadik will be 5th. Logan Franklin 6'7", Michael Bevins 6'7". Did I skip George?
You didn't say Ray, or you didn't say Andre, and you didn't say George. You haven't said Kamani. You've given us 1 and 5 and 6, 7.
No. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I'm gonna say Ray first, Andre second, Kamani 3rd, George 4th, Sadik 5th, Michael Bevins or Michael Bevins 6'7", and I missed somebody else, but yeah, something like that. Logan 6 or 7, yeah.
Logan looks peeled.
Always, man. Yeah, and he's had his foot on the gas for how much he's grown in the last couple of years. He's been going pretty hard.
Like he could be a dangerous guy. You know, I had Andre Ferguson winning this thing until I saw a video shoot released a few days ago. And I know, you know, when we see pictures and we see videos, they don't really tell the story until you see somebody in person under the lighting. You know, you talk about travel and water retention and all that. I no longer think Andre's going to win this show based on what I saw. Again, I had him winning this thing going into this until I was sent this video, and I just, it didn't look like it was only a water issue. It looked like conditioning wasn't where you're used to seeing a guy of his caliber.
Right.
And so I got Ray 1.
Yeah.
I think the surprise of this show is not going to be Ray. Again, Ray is even money for any show now. You can't even say, "Hey, Raymond Edmonds won." Nobody's ever surprised. You know, the guy's as good as it gets. I think you're going to see a career resurrected, so to speak. I think you're going to see George Brown in a second spot.
Okay. Yeah, George is looking pretty nasty.
Brown I've ever seen, and he just seems so focused and so hungry.
Yeah.
I don't know what clicked, what changed for him, but he is hungry, and I think he's gonna push Ray. I think he's gonna push Ray. It's hard when you're at home and then you travel abroad and you come back and.
Oh, yeah, he's moving around a lot, yeah.
It's a lot of moving around, so Ray has to get reacclimated to being settled back in, and then still the hype of the Arnold. You know, he's still going to have some appearances to make. You know, his company's going to want him to do some things. There's some people to see. You know, he's going to be part of the Meet the Pro. So there's a lot, considering he's just traveling from South America, too. So if he's not spot on,
yeah, George is looking pretty peeled.
And he's at home.
Yeah.
That's home.
Yeah. He did mention to me how different this has been for him and how easy his prep has been, and almost like better results with less output but more focus.
Something is clicking with that guy right now, man.
Right.
So that's dangerous because he's a veteran. You know, you get a savvy veteran who's clicking, that's dangerous. Kamani's tough, man.
Yeah.
I actually, after the video, I now have Ray 1, George 2, Kamani 3.
I can see that.
4.
Andre 4, okay.
Yeah. And Chase Savoy 5th, with Logan, Michael Bevins, and Sadik going 6, 7, 8 in no particular order. Michael Bevins, tiny waist. I'm assuming Michael Bevins has put on the necessary size.
Right.
He's a little slight next to the rest of those guys, but I'm assuming that he just went to work. Put on the size.
And kudos to him, man. He is the only guy that turned pro back then. I think he turned pro 11 or 12. And he's the only guy from back then that actually grew with the sport. And you know what I'm saying? All those guys have phased out. So that's very impressive.
Right.
That he's still hanging.
Sadik in the top 5, huh? You see Sadik 5, 6?
You know, I forgot to throw out my boy Chase. I think Chase could squeeze in the top 5 before Sadik could.
I absolutely got Sadik ahead of Chase ahead. I got Chase ahead of Sadik and Logan.
Right. Yeah, I can see Chase beating both of them, especially how his back is now the best it's ever been. especially this far out.
He's still got to get better, but it's way up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, from what I've seen in videos, his back 2 weeks ago was basically how it looks or better on show days normally.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could definitely see Chase at 5. You know, we'll see where it's hard to say where Sadig's gonna fall, being that I mean he's probably put on some pretty decent thickness in the last 2 years, 2.5 years. So I'm eager to see where he's gonna fall, but yeah, I don't think he can say. You know, back then, you know, not a lot of guys got to get a look next to him. You know, to Sadik back then. You know, Chase never got a look next to him. I don't believe.
Never. No. Yeah.
No.
No.
And Brandon did that last year, and I feel like, you know, Brandon should have placed high. I think that was the last year Brandon got 5th. Sadik's last year.
2015. I believe that what was initially thought to be a curse turned out to be a blessing. It was random how they came out, and Brandon was next to Sadik. And that's what ended up, because Brandon Hendrickson was not a name. Nobody knew who Brandon Hendrickson was. It was his first Olympia. So in his first Olympia, finished 5th, because when you saw him stand next to Sadik, everyone went, well,
it was a good look.
Who was this guy? Yeah. And why did we not know? And that ended it right there. That launched everything for him.
Yeah.
You know? And both of them had won the Tampa as well, which seems to really be a momentum gainer going into the Olympia. Right. But I don't think Sadik has the size to stand next to Andre, Raymond, Kamani, or George.
Right.
I think all 4 of them outsize him too much.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see, because he's got such great stage presence. I mean, man.
Yeah, they'll give him that for sure.
Stage.
Yeah, he's got some swag on stage. Very fluid. He always has been, man. He's always been a guy that I looked at, you know, coming into the pros, and, you know, he set a good standard. And he, you know, actually set himself apart from a lot of people, the way people pose. So going to Classic and coming back should be very interesting.
Let me ask you this. He was the standard for stage presence, confidence, back when everyone was thinking he was going to be the next men's physique Mr. Olympia.
Right.
Now that he's been gone, Andre Ferguson doesn't care who's standing next to him. Raymond Edmonds doesn't care who's standing next to him.
Right.
George Stone doesn't care who's standing next to him. Does that Sadik swagger and confidence play out the same anymore?
Man. I don't think so. You know, the game has changed. I think he missed his opportunity to win the Olympia when he left. You know, I mean, why not push that hard and stay where you're at? Brandon did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Brandon's been training just as hard, and it shows every year, and he stayed where he was, you know. And no offense, I mean, I think Brandon could be very competitive in Classic if he wanted to immediately. Yeah. But, you know, he's done great, so
I think it's going to be exciting. I can't think of a better situation than this Arnold to have Sadik back, standing next to George, standing next to Andre, standing next to Ray. Because these guys want to say, hey, you were yesterday, we're today. Sadik, right. Champion who wants to say, I'm back, baby.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Chase Savoys and the Logan Franklins who have continued to improve, who now want to make a name for themselves, who say, hey, guys, you all need to move out of the way because this is our time.
Right.
So, I mean, wow. I can't wait to be there. I got to remember to work because I'm going to be sitting there like a fan with my popcorn.
I'm telling you, this is This is definitely going to be the most exciting Arnold for sure. With the comeback, knowing you got a couple previous winners already, champions already, a second place Olympia, man. We've never seen that in at an Arnold before. It was always exciting seeing Brandon and Andre, but now you're talking 3 or 4 guys, not just 2.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a good look.
You gonna be there?
Yeah, I'll be somewhere around there.
Be somewhere around there. I'll be there. The whole crew will be there. Ryan, appreciate having you on, doing this show with us, man. We look forward to seeing you in a few days. We'll have to catch up.
Yeah.
And let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. Doesn't get any more exciting than this.
I'll throw some popcorn in the back of your head. I'm gonna be right behind you.
There you go. I could use some filling in there. So
yeah, you and me both, man.
Yeah. So that's why you're wearing a wrap.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. We hope you enjoyed the show. We look forward to seeing you guys at the Arnold this year. Until next time, Mandus Buckle, Ryan Hinton, Maximum Muscle Report, the 2019 Arnold Classic Men's Physique preview show. It's a wrap. Peace.
Yeah.